Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to show you just a simple example of personalization in the onboarding sequence. The onboarding is a little bit different depending on the type of service that you offer and the type of community that you have. So a lot of things are going to vary here, but the most important is that you use personalization to acknowledge the customer's comments during the sales call in your initial message and just try to translate how does your program benefit them. So what I'm going to show you is just the example here where we have this personalized onboarding message, and over here the only difference from the previous workflows is that we have the onboarding prompt here. So the welcome message prompt, where we're sending the SMS and we're sending the subject line and the body, and basically the information that we're leveraging to send this information customized is their call recording and their call summary. So the call recording is populated with the call summary during your AI call scoring workflow that we built in the vector database section of the program, I think in module 2, where we go through how to build all the vector stores and how to build your AI call scoring so that you can start populating this information in your dashboard. And then over here, we are uploading the call summary and we're uploading the call transcript. So that way, whenever we generate a new sale, so in this example, whatever processor you use, if it's SamCart, ClickFunnels, Fanbases, WAP, they all have a Zap trigger that you can just simply add to the workflow here in Go High Level to initiate this. In my case, I'm using Go High Level to process the payments. But regardless, whenever they join here, this workflow, we can check for the existing call transcript or not, because if this information is non-existent, you're not going to be able to create a successful message here. Okay. I typically prefer to add this condition, but it's going to be up to you. If that's something that you want to add as part of your message, I would highly recommend during the onboarding message. But just as this example over here, we're just going to first send like the normal like household email where we share the link. If you have an onboarding form, if you have an onboarding call, you just share the information they need in order to get set up. And basically, in my case, I'm just putting here an example of the Circle community link, and then I'm putting an example here of the, for example, like the coaching call, the live coaching call date and time. So that is just kind of like a placeholder. But after we send this message, we're just going to be sending this personalized SMS based on the conversation that you just had with the prospect. And then we send this personalized email and just a quick follow-up on the email. So FYI, whenever you're creating emails in Go High Level, if you just keep the same subject line and you send them within the same, within like without long delays, like 3 days, 4 days, you're going to send an in-thread follow-up. So this is going to be coming on the same email that is showing here. And then this is just another quick bump just to make sure that they are aware that the invite has been sent. So how does that look like in practice, right? So what I'll do is I'll add myself here as a sample contact. And then we're going to execute the workflow. So it's going to be processing the steps that we've already set up in the other videos. It's a pretty similar process. There's this test execution running here. I'm just going to stop. But overall, you'll see that this execution is going to run. And then I'm going to receive the sample email. That is just the standard staple email. And then a personalized SMS based on the information that we've discussed on the call. So in this case, it's a mock call that I put it in here. But you can see that there's like a call recording and a call transcript. And basically, we're just going to go through the process here where it just sends this follow-up message, you know, just based on the discussion that we've had about NAN and Airtable. I know exactly how to implement this for your situation. Check your email for onboarding form to get immediate platform access, for example. And then you will need to obviously personalize to your needs. If you send an onboarding form, if you send an onboarding call link, and then this is the email as well. So if we go back to the workflow, what we're going to be receiving here is the initial email and the initial SMS. So we already received both. If we check our information here, so it's just pretty simple and straightforward. So pumped to get your sales team consistent, scalable performance you need based on your Airtable, on our Airtable and end setup discussion. I know exactly how to implement this for your current situation. Check your email for the onboarding form to get immediate access to the platform, etc. And then over here, we're just sending the staple onboarding email, where here in this email, I'm just going to show you how it looks like as a template for you to take a look. So just a quick example of what it looks like. This is not what I sent. I would obviously add the links and the time zones and everything, but this is just for you to see. And then, excuse me, if I add I'm just gonna force the contact to move through the next step. And then what we'll receive now is the response for the body and the subject line. So if we go through the next steps, you should have sent the 2 emails. And then if we go back to the email, so let's see here. It basically sends this information. Hey, huge congrats to join the Click to Close. After a call about either your team and consistent performance, I'm more convinced we're going to transform your sales organization operates. The AI call scoring we discussed is already being configured for your team. And in this case, it's obviously based on the simple transcript that I put together. So just pay attention to like the the curse words as well. I know this is not good, but you can just pretty much configure this. But the idea is that like you're just showing the customer that you are clearly highlighting the things that it was discussed on the call, and you're demonstrating that you've paid attention and that your program is what they need to fix those problems. Because after you sell, you have to reinforce the person that they made a good decision, because one of the things that you want to avoid is the classic cognitive dissonance. And after they made the investment, they may think twice, and they may discuss this and that and try to like not move forward. So these activation points are just good for you to highlight that what you are selling them is what they need in order to achieve their outcome. And the best way for you to do this is to actually show what has been discussed on the call, and then make sure that you're highlighting this in your emails and your SMS. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. This is how you would configure this. Huge like caveat. Obviously, I can't build just one like general onboarding form or onboarding call for everybody that will fit here. But in the next few videos, we're just going to be discussing a couple things on how to, if you have an onboarding call, how to leverage this information with AI so that your onboarding call script is also personalized based on the information that the customers share and based on the information of the program that you have to offer. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know.